I'm inside Maya now to add an avatar. Now I need to rig that avatar, and I'm going to use the Maya auto function, AutoRig, and this time I'm going to use the step-by-step. It's a 1 through 4 step process. First you pick the avatar, you add it, and then number 2 you add the pivot points, and then you can adjust those pivot points. Make sure that you put on snapping to center of the mass there up there, and that'll ensure that the pivot point stays within the avatar. Then you can also now whatever adjustments that you've made on one side, you can make on the other by flipping them. There's a symmetry function right here, and then you pick the avatar, you pick the joint and just flip it, and it's there on the other side. You create the skeleton, and then you skin it. Now here I am sizing the vehicle to the size of the avatar. I know the avatar size is right, and then now adjusting her to the seat, making sure that she fits comfortably. It's easy enough. So I've placed the proxy steering wheel there, and then now I'm going to create some proxy objects so that when they're back inside of ZBrush, I can begin to model those. That's the armrest on the door. And so now we're inside of ZBrush, and I've sped up a little ways with a very rough interior. Now I'm going to model that interior a little bit more. I'm still in the design phase, by the way. I don't have any sketches for this vehicle or the interior or anything. So I'm really searching. And this is what I like about ZBrush, is that you can really search. It's so easy to model, or so easy to look at forms. It's almost like sketching in 3D. So this is what I like about it. I mean, you should have a sketch before you generally doing a model. But ZBrush is so fluid that, quite frankly, you can begin with just a rough idea and begin to think about it in 3D. So, I mean, these are basic processes. We'll get into these in upcoming videos, how I approach modeling, how to clean up the model. But again, this is a very loose model, still deciding what the design will be. So you see a lot of back and forth and trying to understand what the lines are doing. I'm using pinch brushes, I'm using damn standard brushes, I'm using move brushes, the typical brushes. Here I want this design line to come all the way around the top, so you'll see me doing that, adjusting the inside line here with the clip curve, and using the clip curve to make sure that is planar, that side. I never really want my surfaces flat like this, but it's a good beginning before I add some loft to the section, just to get a relationship between the two theoreticals, if you will. Here I'm going to use the pinch curve to bring this line all the way around. I want it to be a plan view line, and that plan view line is going to relate to that inside line. You can see that I had another component hid and I brought it back, so that I can relate what I'm doing now to that component. You should always relate components to each other. That's really design. It's making sure your relationships are beautiful, they're proportional, they look right. It's all about relationships. Again, using that clip curve to give me a flat plane. I can again add loft later. And this surface is all over the place. It's a lot to do here, but step by step, little by little, I can begin to get something here. I can now begin to sort of see where I want to go, and eventually I think I'm going to get a design that something that I can begin to really work with here. So I flipped it across the center line, and I've got something there. I can see it fairly clearly. That is the binnacle, or not the binnacle, but the IP that is. You know, it's a symmetrical IP. And I can see now where I want a bone line, and I want to draw that on so I can see where that really should be. And so now that I've got that line, I can begin modeling to that line to make sure that my highlights, as it were, follow those lines, or that my surface theoreticals follow that line. Here I'm just going to fill this little baby's butt in, and then I can smooth it out and get a more normal surface. It's kind of dipping in the center, and I needed to fill that out. The whole thing really is dipping in the center. I don't really know what I'm going to do as it goes toward the front there, but we'll figure it out. So here it is. You know, generally I see that I want to adjust the door somewhat, this door handle, the structure inside of the door, and I'll just cut this off right at the end and flip it around. But pretty much that's about it for now. There's a lot more to do, but I think I have a design to move forward. There's a lot of detailing work to do. There's a lot of surface cleanup to do. Seats, surface, everything. I don't know how I'm going to move or that structure inside of the door itself. We're going to work on that. But for now, that's it. And I hope that this was helpful to you. If there's any questions, leave them in the comment section below. And I'll see you on the next video.